From Alaska down to California, there's always this one rule: never shoot what you're not going to eat. Never take more than you need. It's the most frowned upon thing you can do on this coast, especially coming into Kitasoo Xai'xais territory.
Bear viewing wasn't a word when I began in the ecotourism business, and nature-based tourism covered a lot of different things, and you were always really happy to see a bear. As the bears became a bigger part of the operations of the early ecotourism operators on the coast, it became more and more popular, and people became more and more aware of what a really profound, life-changing experience this was. And so as people switched and started marketing towards it, the tours became more focused, to the point now where you have First Nations communities who have built entire tourism operations based on the opportunity to see bears.
We are in Klemtu, British Columbia, otherwise known as Kitasoo Xai'xais, located on the central coast of British Columbia.
The Kitasoo Xai'xais do not support trophy hunting. We actually banned trophy hunting in 2012. The provincial government continues to issue tags for people all over the world to come and shoot bears up here. And for us, bears are very important. They're both important culturally, they're important for the economy. We just didn't want to see these extractive industries anymore. You know, we've seen what forestry's done in other areas. We've seen areas logged out, and we didn't want that. We live in the largest intact temperate rainforest on the planet, and for us, we wanted to keep it like that. I mean, that's our home, and that's where all of our cultural sites are, all of our ecological sites. So we want to make sure and keep these areas intact. I think doing tourism allows us to keep those areas intact. You can still generate revenue and income, employ people in the community without extracting anything. Spirit Bear Lodge is a tourism lodge that my community has built back in 2007. We built it. When we first started, we had a small float house that we can fit 6 people in. So we really want to slowly start expanding the lodge. Now we can accommodate 24 people, and we basically can run for about 6 months out of the year. So we have people from all over the world that come to the Great Bear Rainforest to come and view bears, whether that's grizzly bears, black bears, spirit bears, whales. So that's really allowed us to really key in and protect certain areas and protect the tourism values in those areas.
Guests are coming to us as part of package tours, and really the draw is primarily the bears and the culture.
Welcome to the Kitasoo Xai'xais Big House. All these stories have to do with respect. Respecting animals, respecting yourself, and respecting everything.
People are drawn to this sort of marquee animal, the spirit bear, which is only found in this part of the world, one of the rarest animals on the planet. There potentially is less than 200 of these animals left. And so that's primarily what's drawing people who just love wildlife and love bears. There's nowhere else that they can come to see the spirit bear and experience the First Nations culture than here on the central coast of BC. Our guides are well trained, and we do carry bear spray, but we've never had to use it. We've never had any kind of negative encounter with these animals. And that's primarily because we take great pains to be very consistent and go to the same places day in and day out at the same times. And so the bears really treat us as part of the scenery, so they're not interested in us, they're far more interested in catching the salmon.
We have a lot of stories about bears, and bears have the ability to become human if they take off their fur. And we're always taught stories of respect, and that's ingrained in all of our stories, is having respect for nature, having respect for wildlife, having respect for people. And the fact that people come up and just shoot a bear for sport is absolutely disgusting. So we banned it in 2012, and we're going to enforce that ban. So if we see someone in the territory trying to hunt bears, we'll go up and educate them. We'll let them know that it's banned in Kitasoo Xai'xais territory. We developed a program that's called the Watchmen program, and we basically get out there, and it's men and women from our community that actually get out there and monitor and patrol our whole territory.
This used to be a hunting area, and you know, we're so remote that anybody could come up here and nobody would know it really if nobody was up here. We have to be up here to be the eyes and ears of the nation.
The trophy hunt is on. It was effective since September 10th, but us as Coastal Guardian Watchmen come up here and ensure that nobody's coming in near to hunt bears.
We're also the friendly nation too, so we come up to mingle with people.
What time did you guys get out this morning?
About 7:30 by the time we got
7:30, yeah.
everybody out.
The bears were doing some talking to one another, playing and fighting a little bit.
Is that the two that was over there?
Yeah.
While we're protecting and monitoring the area, we enforce rules, yes, but we don't want to push people out. We want people to experience what we have up here, but we also want to help preserve it and keep it the way it is.
When we started up the whole concept of tourism back in 2000, there was actually a lot of debate about our tourism operation, whether we should do it. Some people said, am I selling my culture? Are we going to have all the people come into our community and buy out the band store and buy out all the fuel in the community? So there was a lot of unknowns, but one of the elders got up and she spoke and she said, if you're going to do tourism, make sure that the youth are involved, make sure that they learn their stories, make sure they learn their territory, in hopes that they can learn it and pass it on. But also, it was really important that other people that are coming into our community might learn about the culture, learn about the territories, learn about these bears, and maybe they'll help educate people around the world about some of these issues as well.
There is currently a shift on the coast, and First Nations are exercising their Aboriginal rights. They're asserting their right to manage and maintain these areas, and so we respect and understand that. Raincoast's goal is to purchase all the commercial hunting tenures within the Great Bear Rainforest. We will need to raise considerably more money to buy the remaining territories. There are a couple of very large territories that are very valuable that we'll need to buy. My hope is very simple, that within the next couple of years, there's a complete end to trophy hunting in the Great Bear Rainforest.